Hi everybody, we have a litter update for these medium Australian Labradoodle puppies. Hi, I'm Claire from Isle Labradoodles, and today is the 2-week litter update for the 7 Australian Labradoodle puppies from our Cloudy Skies litter. And our litter update video today is going to be a little different. We do not have Mama Labradoodle Sora with us today, and we're going to explain why she's not here with us. And we're going to give you a fair bit more information related to that and what is going on with all the puppies. But we'll also introduce you to each of the puppies up close and personal, so you get to see all of them, tell you about their weights and all of their milestones in the past week. So what our news is with respect to Sora is that Sora is in the hospital. Sora developed mastitis on Tuesday. We took her to our own vet. She was vomiting and quite lethargic. So we took her in, and normally with mastitis, this isn't an uncommon thing that occurs with moms who are lactating. But normally what happens is we put them on Clavamox, which is an antibiotic which is safe for nursing moms. It's even actually safe for puppies to take. And soon enough it clears up and off we go. In this instance, however, Sora has a very nasty infection, and she only just yesterday was able to have her fever break. Today we finally got some good news that she is eating on her own. So this is the first time she's eaten at all since Monday. She will not be coming back to look after the puppies. She will most likely have to have a mastectomy. The infection in her mammary glands, there's 3 of them that are infected, one particularly, another one quite a bit, and the third one just very mildly. They have ruptured from the infection, and this is actually a good thing. It sounds like something unpleasant, and of course it is unpleasant. It's painful. But what happens when they rupture is now the infection can start to drain. So what we have agreed to do with consulting with the 3 specialists that Sora has is we are debriding where the rupture has happened and trying to remove the dead skin and the infection and letting it drain out by itself. The goal of this is to make sure that the infection does not go back into the body anywhere and that Sora begins to recover from the actual infection. She has an IV drip which has myriad medications in it. She's on multiple different antibiotics because this was or is still a very strong and nasty bug that she has. So the infection is a very serious one. Yesterday we were fairly unsure as to whether she was even going to survive. Today, much better news. So she also has pain meds in an IV drip, and we're doing a process that's called dry to wet bandage, and that's her wound care for the glands that have ruptured. And that requires hospital stay. She can't be here with us. We don't have the ability to give her the IV. Some of the drugs she is taking are not drugs that we would be able to administer at home. So she's comfortable in the hospital now. We hear from the hospital once or twice a day, mostly to collect money, but we do hear they're absolutely wonderful at Ways Vet Clinic. We couldn't ask for a better place. So we do get regular updates. Tomorrow they'll redo her blood panel. The reason why we just didn't go straight to surgery, which would be the normal route, was because Sora was not stable enough. Her platelets had dropped down to 1, and so she simply was not able to have surgery. So you will be wondering, well, who's looking after the puppies? Who's feeding the puppies? What's going on? Well, Renald and I are now Sora. Taylor too. It takes 3 of us to fill Sora's shoes. She has 4 feet, and so I guess it's appropriate that it takes quite a few people to fill the 4 shoes that she's left behind. So you'll see in today's video, the puppies are much more kissy towards me. They'll be trying to nurse off of me all the time, like the little yellow collar was just doing here. And that's because they've already associate my scent and food. So what we do with the puppies is every 3 hours around the clock, we bring them out, and you'll see how the puppy's nursing here on my hand. We take the puppies out and we alternate between tube feeding them and using a special milking station that we bought from France a couple of years ago in anticipation of an emergency situation like this possibly occurring. It's the first time we've used the milking station. It's working quite well. We will be posting some short videos on our Facebook page. We'll show you the whole process in little bits rather than doing a great long video explaining everything. But basically, we are making their formula and combining that with a commercially prepared puppy formula. And the reason why we combine the two together is the one that we make is a nicer, more robust formula. The commercially prepared formula is great, but it is not wonderful at actually giving the puppies. It's fine, it maintains them, but it doesn't really keep them in the very best of health. So we combine the two, the one we make and the commercially prepared one. We don't use just the one we make because you need a syringe tube to have the food go into the tube that goes down into the baby's tummy. That formula that we make is very thick. We use an all-natural, very high-fat yogurt for that. And it doesn't go through the tube into the baby's tummy, and it also doesn't go into the milking station that allows them to nurse. So the difference with the milking station is that it has nipples on it, and so it simulates nursing. So now the puppies think that I'm the one who has the milk bar. This is why they're trying to nurse off of me, because it's my scent that they are associating with that milking station and being able to suck off of the nipples. The primary reason we employ that is psychological. The urge to nurse and the comfort that nursing gives to a puppy is critical to their mental development. If you just tube feed them, sure, their tummies are full, they're getting the adequate nutrition, but psychologically they're bereft. They feel abandoned and they feel like an orphan puppy. And of course, we don't want that to happen. No, we don't. So we use the milking station to take the place of that natural process and keep them just getting the same comfort that they would if they had mom. Of course, we're in here far more often. Well, we are with them every 3 hours to feed them. And then we have to stimulate them all to both urinate and defecate. They cannot do that on their own yet. And we will show you a little video on how that goes. So the whole process every 3 hours takes about an hour. So if you see bags under our eyes, you'll know why. No sleep is going on to speak of. But when Taylor's here during the day, we do try and go and have a short nap. And we do try and take advantage of the hour or two in the evenings, or overnight rather, when we can catch a little bit of sleep. We also have a pheromone in the room, and that pheromone is the same one as mother's milk. So that too is giving that added support to the puppy's mental state so that they feel that they still have a nursing mom in the room with them. And if you'll look at where the puppies are here, you'll see that they're in a bed. Now, normally we never have puppies of this age in a bed. The reason we have them in the bed is, again, these sides mimic lying up against mom. So this also provides them with comfort. You can see yellow collar here thinks, well, perhaps this is my mom and I'll try nursing here. It is just about feeding time again. That's why they're all particularly hungry. And remarkably, when these puppies are in this bed, already, despite the fact that they are only 14 days old, they know to get out of their bed and they go and they pee on the pee pads here. They can pee on their own from time to time, not regularly. They still need us to help us with that, but they can pee on their own every few times. They even have defecated on their own once or twice, which is great. It's amazing how quickly they can adapt, how fast they learn, and 14-day-old babies being able to manage a difficult situation. It's incredible. So what is this going to mean for the puppies in the long run? Health-wise, absolutely nothing. They're getting all the same nutrition that they would from mom. They're getting the same amount. But what we're probably going to see is puppies who are a little bit more imprinted to a person, and puppies who have already learned how to deal with adversity in their lives and how to problem solve. The fact that these guys are coping, we don't hear them crying, which is wonderful. They're content, they're very happy with one another, and the fact that they've learned how to get in and out of this bed at this size and to pee outside of the bed, they're light years ahead of puppies with a mom. So there are some distinct advantages to that. So that's our little story about our Australian Labradoodle puppies from our Cloudy Skies litter. Definitely not our run-of-the-mill litter, and definitely not how things normally go. And a really, really special thanks to our amazing families on this reservation list. As soon as I sent out the email telling them that Sora was ill, we had so many emails and response offering to come and help in any way that they could. Very nice to hear and very appreciated. So now we will do our normal update of each of the puppies. So first we will start with yellow color. Now the other milestone that these puppies have reached this week is that their eyes are open. So you can see the beautiful little eyes on this gorgeous chocolate sable Labradoodle puppy. This little one is going to look so much like Mama Sora. Basically the exact same coloring that Sora had at the time when she was a puppy of this age. So little yellow color is weighing in today at 760 grams. So you can see that there's no problem at all in terms of lack of food. No, we're still growing really nicely. This is a really cute puppy, beautiful high set ears, gorgeous markings. And one thing we do with the puppies is we use a very special wipe so that they don't get really what's the equivalent of diaper rash. Because of course without Mummy here to clean them as much as she would, or at all, we're doing that for the puppies too. So that's our beautiful yellow color girl, our firstborn in this litter. Next we have orange collar. Hello, orange. Orange who now has a white collar. Yeah, this little girl is also a chocolate sable. But you can see that her coloring is slightly different from her sister yellow colors. She has a little bit darker features and she's a little bit smaller. She and light blue collar are the smaller puppies in the litter. And this week, purple is the biggest and the smallest is orange. I think you've always been the smallest. See, just the cutest little thing. Her eyes are open. I'm not sure if she's showing them to you right now. Are you going to show anybody your eyes? Sometimes at this age, they don't have them open all the time. Hers are not as open as yellow collars, but they are there. We have seen them. Oh, I know, it's so exhausting, isn't it? Just the sweetest little thing. When she gets on the milking station, oh, she's just so excited. She's just like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And she goes great guns, don't you? Little orange collar girl is 555 grams today. So really doing very nicely considering 2 weeks ago when she was born, she was 222. So perfectly within range. Now you'll find with these puppies, because they're going to be tube fed and milk station fed, they're going to grow at a slightly slower rate than puppies who are nursing from their mom. That doesn't mean that they will not achieve their full size. They will. It's just their weight gain is going to be more steady like this rather than like this that you would have with a nursing mom. And the reason for that is twofold. They use a lot of energy up just because they're not in their natural nursing environment. The commercial formula is not as robust as mom's milk, and there are some, different situations going on with them. So that's basically why you're going to see that change. Yellow collar apparently wants to sit right on me, so we'll just leave her there. Next is red collar girl. And red collar girl is also a chocolate sable. Hey, baby girl. So you hear me talking to them, they still can't hear. Their ears are not yet open, but that is going to happen shortly. Red collar girl has her eyes open. She was the first one to open her eyes. And you can see that even though this girl has lots of brown on her, that she has a black nose. and she is a black sable. This is not a chocolate sable, so she is different from yellow and orange in that respect. And red color girl is, I can hardly read my writing because when I'm doing this, I'm usually half asleep. She's 783 grams. Really nice size. She's really coming along really well. She's got that pretty, almost looks like a mask on her face right now, where you can see the clearing out above her eyebrows. That is typical of a sable puppy. So that's our big girl there. And if you take a look at a purple collar, this is the character of the litter. Look at him there with his mouth hanging open, his head thrown back. I mean, you can tell they're not stressed, that even though mom's not here, they're perfectly relaxed. This is the talker of the group, and oh my goodness, he's just hilarious. He is always making us laugh. And when I come out with the puppy from here to do their feeding, everybody always knows, oh, it's purple collar coming, because he's always squawking away. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He doesn't know that, of course. Light blue collar. This little boy, this is a beautiful chocolate boy, and I believe that he might be chocolate and not sable. Can't quite tell. You can see his pretty little eyes too, showing you his mouth. Cute little puppy with those ears high up on top of his head. I always think he should be a girl. He's just a little bit too pretty to be a boy. Yeah, a very pretty boy. He's doing really well too. He is excellent on the milking machine. He goes great guns. None of these ones, we don't have to hold them on. All we do is provide support with our arms so they don't roll off the counter. We feed them on our island, so that way we can monitor what they're doing more readily. There's not enough room in the whelping box here for two of us, the milking machine and the puppies. And we feed them 3 at a time on there. Light blue collar is 565 grams. So he's substantially smaller than his sisters that are coming in the high 700 grams there. But he is gaining properly. He's not smaller because he's not gaining. He just is a smaller puppy. There you go, my little sweet. And after light blue, we have dark blue. Now, dark blue is our only fail in terms of the milking station. He absolutely refuses to have anything to do with it. Could be it's the texture, could be he just doesn't like the whole plan of it, but nope, there's no way he will use that milking station. No matter how many times I tell him and try to convince him that he'd be so much happier with that, it's a flat no every time. So all that happens is he gets agitated, and we don't want him to be agitated, of course. So we simply tube feed him every time rather than alternating. And this little guy, he is a black sable. You can see on his paws there, he has some markings looking like a phantom, and look between his toes. Isn't that beautiful? Gorgeous, gorgeous little highlights between his toes. Very pretty little markings on this little man. And Mr. Dark Blue is 662 grams. So you can see there's not really a variation in the weight gain, despite the fact that he's not using the milking station at all. And in some ways, the tube feeding is better because we can see absolutely precisely how much they're eating, and we know how much they need to eat every day. And we adjust it every day because, of course, every day they're gaining weight. There we go, my little handsome prince. And then we have green collar boy. Now, green collar boy is similarly colored, but this guy, I think, is probably a phantom. I was quite sure he was, but now I'm looking at the front of his legs here, and you see how they almost look like a leopard spot or something like that? That leopard marking tells me that it's quite possible that he is a sable. So he's really tricking us. Sable is such a fun color to watch develop, and it doesn't matter how many times you have a sable, you'll find something different each time. So this little guy maybe just gave a big trick to me and did a really big fool on me, and that indeed he actually is a little black sable boy. And Mr. Green Collar, he is 679 grams. So again, a really nice weight. And he's a good feeder on the milking station. And last but not least is our character of the litter. There he is with his head thrown back again. He is just the most entertaining dog, I tell you. I can't wait for him to become a little older and really show us his personality. Because his personality at 2 weeks old is enormous. So I can't quite imagine what he's going to be like when he's older. Oh, and we've got Noisette trying to open the door to come in here. Noisette knows how to open doors, so she's there thinking she needs to be in here and part of the action. She's due to have her puppies on May the 4th, so she's here getting ready for that, and she hasn't learned all of her manners yet. So Purple Collar, this is a beautiful puppy, gorgeous, beautiful head, high set ears. You can see he's squirming around already because he's trying to find me, and he's trying to nurse off my nose and gets annoyed at me that I don't have anything to offer. He'll try my ear instead. And Purple is 767 grams. When he gets on the milking station, we pretty much have to take him off because he would just go and go, and I'm sure he would explode if we let him just eat and eat and eat. No problem with this boy's appetite. And you can see he has fairly nice sized paws. I think this is going to probably end up being the biggest puppy in the litter. It'll be either he or Red Collar Girl. Yes, are you gonna be the biggest one? So that's all the puppies, and as you can see, they are all really quite content, even though they are missing their mom. Not having your mom is not ideal, but we are determined to do everything to make sure they have the best possible experience without Sora. And one really good takeaway for everyone from this litter is here is the value of having pet insurance. Sora's been in the hospital since Tuesday. She'll probably be in the hospital for probably 8 days, could be 9. And she will most likely have to have surgery. Of course, this was a totally unexpected event. Likely the total cost for her stay is going to be over $12,000. So when you figure out how long it takes you to pay $12,000 in insurance premiums for your pet, and how quickly something unexpected like this can happen, it's a good bet that you have pet insurance. We don't for breeding dogs, but I think maybe it's time that we start to reevaluate that. The premiums for breeding dogs are a little bit higher, but I think maybe it's time we take a second look at that. So that's all of our puppies. If you watched our Pinot Noir litter update, you will have heard our exciting news. We are now able to place our puppies in the United States. Indeed, we can place our puppies anywhere in the world now. We have had full clearance from our insurer to do so. So if you are one of our American fans, please don't hesitate to come on board and see about getting your next Australian Labradoodle puppy from Isle Doodles. We do have a flight nanny, so we can hand deliver your puppy to you wherever it is that you are located. And we do have probably 2 spots open in our summer litters because we've had such big litters lately. Maisie's due on Monday, and she's quite big. I have a feeling we're going to have some spots in that litter too. Those puppies will all be chocolates, and there will be some phantoms in there. So if that interests you, please go to our website, isledoodles.com, and check out the purchasing page for more information. And we thank you for watching today. Please keep Maisie, or Sora rather, in your thoughts. Cross all your fingers, toes, eyes, everything for a full and speedy recovery for Mama Labradoodle Sora.